Okay, good evening and welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for the town of Eastchester, September meeting. It's September 14, 2021, and we're back to in-person meetings. So we'll start the meeting, we'll call it to order, and we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just very briefly, as I do before every meeting, go over the ground rules. Firstly, our calendar for 2022 is not out yet, but it'll be out very soon. I mention that because after tonight, there are only 2 full board meetings left for the year. There's an October and November meeting. The December meeting is for resolution only if necessary. So if anyone's contemplating an application, as you are probably aware, for those matters that are first time on, that as part of the terms and conditions in your application, any first time on matter is not decided upon, it's reviewed, and it's deliberated upon. So if anyone's contemplating an application for this year, the calendar for the remainder of the year is online, and the 2022 calendar should be out shortly. Secondly, we observe Robert's Rules of Parliamentary Order. Now that we're in person, it's a little easier. We don't have to worry about a raise your hand function. On those new business items, the way it'll be conducted is, Counselor? So the way the new business items will be conducted is that the applicant will have an opportunity to give a presentation. As I always tell new applicants, you don't need to read your application. It's a public record. It's marked submitted. You can if you want. It's not going to either help or hurt your application. Generally, you just briefly summarize. The board will generally be given an opportunity to ask questions or make comments. The public will have an opportunity to be heard. Applicants will have a chance to reply if necessary. It'll be back to the board, and that's generally how this works on new applications. So, my first item, I make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 13th, May 11th, and June 8th, 2021 meetings. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. As far as calendar is concerned, just one item has been marked adjourned. The following application is adjourned to the October 12th, 2021 ZBA meeting. It's application 20-19. It's known as Kids Corner. That's 189-191 Brook Street. Okay. Item number 1 on for resolution. I make a motion to approve application 22-24. That's 87 Tuckahoe Avenue. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Nerzia?
Yes.
Mr. DeMarco?
Yes.
I vote yes. The application's been approved 4-0. Yes.
Yeah, just to clarify.
Please.
Application 212497 Tuckahoe Avenue?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me clarify that. That is 97 Tuckahoe Avenue. What did I say?
Which else?
87.
Okay. I will stand corrected, and that's it's like spring training. This is rust from all those Zoom meetings. Okay, so I'll work my way back into the starting rotation. Okay, so that application's been approved. Now, items on for new business. Item number 2, that's 21-26, 18 Oak Ridge Place. Okay, so come forward, state your name and address for the record, and proceed. Please, proceed.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm Leonard Brandis of Brandis Architects, representing 18 Oak Ridge Place. I'm here with the owner, Prekarvesh, who's here to present. Can I take this up to the mic? Or?
Sure. You're not allowed to sing unless we get a set list in advance, okay? But you can roam and speak.
All right. The current house has a porch and an entryway over here on the side of the house. The house itself is a non-conforming, pre-existing house. The whole block has been changed, and over the years that the zoning code has been changed. The size of the lot is much smaller than what's required today in terms of the width. It's only 49.5 feet. The setbacks on the house existing are only 16.3 in the front of the house. And what we're planning to do is to expand the porch, to expand this garage, because it's very small. We only have a one-car garage there. We want more storage. And to expand the porch, to go across here with a covered area matching the existing house itself. We also, because you can see there's a retaining wall here, it's very hard to get to this area. So we wanted to have off that front porch a small side stair, just a few steps that would go over there. Just to have photographs of the existing house and of the neighborhood. This is the house right here. And one of the things that a lot of the houses in the area have is a very similar situation. Here, this house had brought the porch forward and has it right across. That's right next door to them. Here's the house right here. Here's our house. Here's their neighbor. Right here, also, they came up a full story, so they covered the first floor as well. So this is not an unusual request in terms of this neighborhood. The other house, 2 blocks down, a few houses down, same thing. They ran up and did a whole first floor over that extended first floor and the extended garage as well. So, like I said, this is right here, another one, also the other house. So all these houses were built, and most of these houses were expanded already. This house just had never had that expansion, and we're requesting to be able to make that expansion. In plan, the area that we're talking about is right here, where we expand the porch out and adding a small steps. That small step area is about 24 square feet, so it's a very small intrusion. It's non-covered. I know the code requires it to be at least, I think it's 6 feet away, or actually, I think it's 4 feet away from the side yard, so we are encroaching on there. The front of the house, we're lining up with the existing front, so we're not increasing the setback in terms of that as well. So we are just trying to create something, a little bit improvement for the house that's in keeping with the neighborhood. And just a larger plan of what we're actually planning on doing, just the construction of this, how it can get built. And we're just looking, like I said, we want to have that area, that front of the house has a big retaining wall in front, so it's very hard to maintain that area. And this will give us an easy way from the front door to get to the back, to this front area and maintain that area. And looks-wise, we're just trying to continue with adding a new railings over here, improving the railings on this section of this house. That would be the side porch over here, and just coming down along the side. So we're not trying to do anything, once again, that's not unusual for the neighborhood. This is still the same setback of the first floor. We're only increasing the garage and the porch area itself, the open porch itself. And just a little diagram of what we're talking about. So the main house is staying, we're expanding the garage, and just extending the porch. And I'm open for questions.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Yeah, at this time, the board generally reserves an opportunity to ask questions. Mr. Cahalan, any questions?
Well, just a comment.
Please.
The application was sloppy. You know, all the pictures are mislabeled. I had to, you know, I visit the sites, and all your pictures say the same address, 14 Oak Ridge Place, when you have pictures that go up and down the street. So how my colleagues who are looking at it electronically knew what they were looking at, they could know. So I would, you know, in the future, make sure that you label your presentation correctly.
I did label it as neighbors, not as the house itself. I had labeled the house itself on each one, which was the existing house, and then the neighbor's house to the right, neighbors to the left.
I didn't get that.
Okay.
Not in my package. So I thought it was sloppy. Also, none of the variances are overwhelming, but when you add them all up, it's pretty substantial. So those are my comments.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cahalan. Mr. Nerzia?
No questions or comments?
Mr. DeMarco?
Nothing, thanks.
Okay, I make a motion to open this, I have nothing at this time. I make a motion to open the matter to the public for a public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Would anyone from the public like to be heard on this application? Okay, seeing no one, I make a motion to close the public hearing on this
Second.
matter. Mr. Cahalan seconds that. All in favor?
Aye.
Back to the board. Mr. Cahalan?
Nothing.
Mr. Nerzia?
Nothing.
Mr. DeMarco?
No, nothing.
My only comment is that I think you adequately addressed the five-part test. I think it's, you know, consistent with the neighborhood that the uses on the home currently exist. All you're doing is really expanding upon them. And the way the topography falls with the retaining wall, it's going to be hidden from the neighbor to the south, and there is no neighbor to the north. So those are my comments. I'm making a motion to adjourn this application for resolution at the October 12th, 2021 ZBA meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. DeMarco, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, while you're putting that away, we'll be calling up item number 3, the second item of new business, 21-27. That's 15 Webster Road. Name and address for the record, and proceed.
Alrighty. Good evening, Chairman, board members. My name is Adamo Majorano from Community Designs and Engineering. On behalf of the applicant, Chris Vernia, we are proposing additions and alterations to 15 Webster Road. The property is located in the R5 zoning district. The house was built, I guess, in the 20s, and obviously, the outside and inside of the house is in dire need of updates and renovations. So the applicant wishes to create not only a house that's suitable for the needs of the family today, but also for the future as well. So in doing so, the applicant wishes also to, try to keep the structure of the house in contact with the rest of the addition, remaining itself, other than the back of the house is going to get modified for the addition. So in doing so, the ideal solution to create this layout was the attached garage. And the attached garage will go on the right side of the property, and we're extending the inside of the garage will be 12 feet. This is, pretty much an ideal dimension in order to have a usable garage to park your car and also be able to get out. Nothing that's, extremely oversized garage or anything like that. So the side yard setback that will result would be a 7-foot setback, and what's required in the R5 zoning district is 9 feet. The opposing side is just over 8 feet. So in doing so, we are also setting the addition back, so we're not requiring any front. The existing house is non-conforming with respect to the front yard setback, but the addition of the garage will be set back to that 30-foot required setback. So the only thing that we are asking again here today is the 2-foot deficiency in the side yard setback. The existing site as it is now, there's a driveway that runs to the 2-car garage in the rear, and we're going to remove that a good portion of that driveway. The rest of it will access the proposed addition, and the 2-car garage will be removed, and any of the additional impervious surfaces, obviously we're going to do new stormwater management to capture those, the runoff of that on site. I'm just going to flip. What you see there's an existing picture of the existing residence, and then the proposed front elevation, what it would look like with that attached garage. Obviously, there's other homes in the neighborhood that are very similar to this condition, so it won't be at all, it'll fit into the, neighborhood within proximity of it. It's also at the beginning stage of a very short block, so there's no real absolute consistency of setbacks of that immediate area as well. Some have smaller setbacks than what we're proposing as well. So with respect to that as well, it'll also fit into that immediate neighborhood within that short block. I think that.
Thank you, Mr.
Pretty much
Majorano, for
covers
your
it.
presentation. Okay, as you know, the board will see if you have any comments or questions at this time. Mr. Cahalan?
None.
Mr. Nerzia?
No.
Mr. DeMarco?
No.
I don't have anything at this time. I make a motion to open this matter to the public for a public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Would anyone from the public like to be heard on this application? Okay, seeing nobody, I make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Cahalan, anything further on this?
Nothing.
Mr. Nerzia?
No, nothing.
Mr. DeMarco?
No.
Yeah, my only comment is that you've adequately addressed the 5-part test. I think that it certainly conforms to the character of the neighborhood. And the only other thing I have is a motion to adjourn this for resolution at the October 12, 2021 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay. The last item on our calendar is actually an application for a rehearing, so I'll explain this. The applicant is seeking area variances to legalize a shed. These variances were reviewed as part of a previous application that appeared before the board. It was on May 11, 2021. The board denied that application in a meeting on June 8, 2021. In accordance with Town Law, Section 267, subsection A12, is any member of the board prepared to make a motion to rehear the application to legalize the shed? Any member? Seeing no one, absent a motion, the application cannot be heard, and that is the end of that matter. Okay, we have nothing else on our calendar as the old business was adjourned, so I make a motion to adjourn our meeting, and the next meeting being October 12, 2021. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Have a good evening.